Welcome back to Benchwork and Ballast. Today we're going to be cutting some styrene for the concrete pads. Now, I did cut a little test sheet and painted it up, tried to get it to look all right. Definitely needs some work. Doesn't look terrible, doesn't look great. I learned a lot while painting this though. That's why I did it. I didn't want to cut a bunch of styrene and do all the painting and stuff. I'm going to do one more test strip just to sort of lock in a way of doing this. This took, I think this was 3 base coats of Woodland Scenic's concrete top coat, and then I weathered it, but I weathered it too dark. So I went over it with another layer of top coat, but I kind of did a lighter layer, which is where this darker undertone's coming in. Then I painted over the yellow stripe, which I didn't use tape or anything, which is why it's not super straight. I mean, it's kind of straight. It doesn't look terrible from a distance, but and then I went over it again and did some sort of like oily patches, which I just used, excuse me, the basic black wash that I kind of put over the entire thing instead of using like an actual wash. But it didn't come out too bad. And I just kind of slapped it right there just to try it out. Additionally, there is a new model on the layout, and that is this little gantry that I was talking about printing. It printed kind of weird with these strings from the bridging, but I kind of like it. It kind of looks like wiring and stuff, and that's just going to sit right there. That's going to actually be where it goes on the layout when it's done. Additionally, I did manage to get this to print, my little oil tank here. This is going to be a pain to paint. I didn't think of that when I printed it, but you know what? I think I'll make it work. And that's probably going to go somewhere around here, just to complete that sort of scene. Additionally, I've printed a ton of these little electrical boxes, which still need to be painted, but those are good to have. I also prototype modeled, it's really hard to see this, but it's a little N scale cone. It is a little overscaled just so I could actually grab it and work with it. I did print a 2 scale cone, and it was a little too small. Additionally, it fell over, so I'm gonna have to grab it out here with my tweezers. I printed these little bullards that are gonna go kind of in front of the garage door here for that, and in front of the doors in front of all these, like the maintenance doors, not the train doors, but I mean, they're gonna go in front of both. They're gonna go in front of the train doors and the garage doors here, which I still have to design and print. Still kind of working out how I want to do that. But today we're going to be focusing on cutting the concrete styrene so that we can get that all painted and installed once this track is down. Anyways, give me 1 second. We'll be back when it's all cut. All right, so we're going to start on this side of the layout. I got all the styrene cut. I'm going to cut it smaller or score it just to create those concrete expansions. I did actually also design and print up a new yard building here. That's just going to go here. This is mainly just so, since this is like the cleaning tracks where the maintenance crews will clean the interior, this will probably be the storage for all like the cleaners and pretty much just everything like that. So there's a new concrete pad on the other side here. I did 3D print, it's going to be hard to grab, this little crossing here, kind of prototypical to what you'd see. I still have to do some finishing on it, but I think it came out pretty good. There's the bottom there, but that fits perfectly there. I think I'm gonna make a few more adjustments to it. I might make it a little bit longer. Right now it is, I believe, 10 feet to scale. So probably make it a little larger. I did also print the little side pieces. There's one there. They're super small, so that's gonna be a great joy to install onto the tracks. Also, the track is now glued. It's not going anywhere. I did that real quick, so I was like, I was trying to get the measurements and I kept shifting the track. And I'm like, this isn't gonna work. I need to just glue the track down, get that finalized, and then I can get all the measurements. So I quickly did that. So now all the track is permanently affixed. I took all the uni joiners out of the ends here, so they would glue, and it is all secure. The switches all work, so we're all good there. The wiring still works. I did hook up the wiring again, just to make sure that I didn't break anything while I was gluing the track down. And luckily, everything still works. That was my biggest concern doing that. Going back to the main facility here, not much has changed. I'm still debating on this facility and the tank where it should go. Still debating on the sanding tower and just general details in the area.
I have been printing, and you can see this pile of stuff that needs to be painted. A lot of accessory pieces to just kind of put around. And I've been dotting them around to see where I like them. You can see I put a few of the bullards up just to see how I felt about how they looked. I think they're a good size. If anyone wants, I can post the files for these little bullards and the cones. They're not super useful, but you know, they're something. Maybe I'll post those. These I found online. I don't know if I'm going to keep them or if I'm going to design my own. These are good enough. I'm not too worried about the smaller details and making sure that everything's done by me. One change that I'm going to make is I bought the Pike Stuff overpass. I was actually going to start building it, but I don't like it. I don't like the kit. It's about 1,000 pieces and there's no guides in terms of like keeping things straight. And I'm not a great model builder, which is why I'm 3D printing everything, because I can do 3D models. I can assemble 3D models. I cannot do, 500 pieces of a tiny little kit with my hands. I'm a larger dude. Like there's no way I am keeping 4 individual I-beams. These are the I-beams straight while assembling it. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm sure the kit's great if you know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. So I will probably end up switching to a 3D printed overpass that is more accurate to the prototype and also easier for me as a novice to paint and assemble. I'll probably print it in 3 pieces. I'll probably do like the foundations, the supports like the I-beams, and then the roadway, because those are all going to be painted 3 different colors. So hopefully that works, and we will see that probably next time, because I'm going to start designing it pretty quick here.
Well, that's going to kind of wrap it up for this video. It was mainly just to get the concrete established. I still need to do some experimenting with how I'm going to paint the concrete. I want to also try to figure out the overpass situation, but I'm really anxious to get started on ballasting and getting everything sort of locked in. I don't think this layout will take too much longer, but I also have no idea because I haven't started the painting process. I'm starting to see the final vision, which is exciting. And I hope you guys enjoy. Sorry for sort of like not much going on this video. It's been kind of hectic in real life outside of the layout today. Not today, but in general the past couple of days. So I haven't had a ton of time to come down here and work on it. But I have been making small progress here and there, so I figured I'd do a quick update video on that. Next time we'll probably have the concrete painted. I'm probably going to try to prime the buildings and all the models just so that they're ready to be painted when I want to sit down here for a couple hours and just brush paint everything. But other than that, thanks for stopping by. This has been Benchwork and Ballast, and we'll see you next time.